Hey guys, Alex from Scimitar Films back again with Better Call Saul. Last time on Better Call Saul, we finished off Season 4 with Winner. Let's see. Mike was searching for Werner, and at the same time, Lalo was following Mike. And Mike had to deal with that, and Lalo actually called. He managed to call Werner on the phone. And so he got a little bit of information, not a ton, not enough to really, figure out what Gus is doing, but some information, more than he should, So Werner got in trouble, and Mike took him out into the desert, and he tried to convince Gus to go another way, but that just wasn't happening. So Mike took care of it himself, and he killed Werner, and yeah. Gus is now left with a giant hole in the ground and unfinished. The rest of the Germans are all headed back, so Gus has some problems. Meanwhile, Jimmy was working on his appeal, working to convince the people of the bar association that he is sincere. He does care about Chuck, and he deserves to be a lawyer like his brother. And it worked. He gave this great, moving speech at his hearing, and then immediately Kim was like, wow, I'm really proud of you. That was really heartfelt. And he was like, I know, the suckers. So, yeah, all of that, Jimmy was still faking. Jimmy is gone. Jimmy has gone off the deep end. That was all an act, and he has just finally perfected the act. And in order to perfect the act, he is changing his name to Saul Goodman. So, yeah, isn't that crazy? And that leads us to today, the start of Season 5. Now, because it is the start of the season, what I like to do at the beginning of every season that I do is I offer full length available for free for this episode only. So, if you want to watch my full, unedited reaction to this episode of Better Call Saul, all you have to do is head down in the description and into the pinned comment. Turned to Porky Pig for a second. You have to head to the pinned comment. There will be a link there. You click that. It will take you to my Patreon page, but remember, this is free. This is a completely free and open post on my Patreon page. And basically, yeah, it's the unedited reaction. Now, there is no footage from the show. It's just the footage of me, okay? Because I can't stress this enough. I can't give you the full episode. That would be illegal. And there's no Palpatine here to make it legal, alright? So, what you gotta do is sync up your copy of this episode of Better Call Saul to my footage. I'm watching it here on Netflix, so it's as easy as you hit play on my video. There will be a countdown on screen. It'll say 3, 2, 1, and that's when you hit play on Better Call Saul. You do that, they sync up pretty perfectly. Slight margin of error, but pretty perfectly. Should be, good enough to get you through the episode. And that's how you watch the episode. It's pretty simple. You just have me and Netflix open in 2 windows. It's as simple as that. Or wherever else you're watching it. I assume if you're watching this on a Blu-ray or if you're watching this on the less than legal sites, it should still sync up pretty well. So yeah. But yeah, you can try that. You don't have to try that. The edited reaction is always here in this YouTube video. But yeah. But you can try that if you want or not. And yeah. Why don't we all collectively get into this episode of Better Call Saul? Here we go. All right. So show me Gene. Give me the next song for the playlist. Oh, it's still that day, isn't it? I want to believe that he found the exact same car he used to drive as Jimmy. It's just like it's a red car with a yellow door instead of the other way around. Whoa. Wow, he is that paranoid that somebody recognized him.
Yeah, I'm fine. It was a false alarm. Turns out I was just dehydrated. So, can you believe it? Yeah, I definitely will.
Man, I missed the song.
I won't be.
We're supposed to have a song at the start of the season. Now, what was the stuff he was keeping in the thing he used to keep his coins in? I guess in the time that Walt was gone, disappeared, he didn't deal with this because he was in the middle of nowhere. And I want to assume Jesse's never had to deal with this. Of course, Jesse was a lot hell of a further away than Saul. Nope. Song time! I mean, he's probably thinking right now, like, oh, maybe I was just being paranoid. Uh-oh. Oh no, the song didn't last that long.
You know, back in the day when I lived in Albuquerque with my ex, I used to see you everywhere.
Oh no.
You know, on the billboards, on the TV. I used to have one of your matchbooks.
Oh no.
You got me mixed up with someone. My name is Takovic. Gene Takovic. Sorry, I gotta get back to work.
Come on, man. That is not cool.
Not cool.
I know who you are. You know who you are. Let's just get past that.
Dude, what are you, like 85 years old? Is this guy trying to be a teen?
Better call Saul.
Oh.
What? Once again, and do the point.
Oh my god. Fuck this guy.
Better call Saul.
There we go. A little rusty, but you'll do better next time.
Next time? What do you mean next time?
You didn't ask, but the name's Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. Jeff, pick up on the context clues. He's wearing a different name.
I'll see you. Gene.
Like, pick up on the context clues of why he has a different name, you moron. That's it. We're moving to Spain. They don't know Saul Goodman in Spain.
Best quality vacuum. How may I help you?
Yeah,
Hey.
I need an adapter for a Hoover Max Extract Pressure Pro Model 60.
New dust filter.
Mr. Takovic.
He remembers. Hey!
That will be a very difficult part to obtain.
Nuh.
I've changed my mind.
Oh?
Change your mind.
Yeah. I'm gonna fix it myself.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. No! Dang it! We're not gonna see that again until season 6! Oh, God, it's so screwed up. It's even going into the next intro.
Sure as shooting, sooner or later, every last one of them is going to find themselves in the back of a squad car. How do I get them to call Jimmy McGill? I don't. I stay Saul Goodman. They call the guy they already know. I thought I was wasting a year of my life. It wasn't a waste. It was for this. This is it.
It was for Saul.
Just now, just back there, just boom, it just hit me. This
Nuh.
is the way, Kim. It's
Okay.
gonna work.
This is the way. I mean, I guess it wasn't a plan.
If this is how you're really feeling,
It is.
I say sure.
Great. 5 minutes max.
Nah. It's not just the fact that he's
Jimmy.
going
Saul
by going... It's not just that he's going by Saul Goodman. It's everything he's going...
McGill.
It's everything that just happened.
Thank you, honey.
Jimmy Saul Goodman McGill. Lalo. What a shirt.
You know how many Werner Zieglers there are in Germany? 27.
Oh man, he's not wearing
26
socks. What a power
now,
move.
according to Mrs. Ziegler.
Yo, Otto, where you going? Not going in there. Yo!
Oh, dude, you don't want to mess with Lalo, I think. White boy. This man is a ninja.
He puts out 10 keys, I pick 6.
How do you pick them?
I just pick different ones each time, they're all the same.
Okay, so these are okay, but these
Wow, he can tell? Well, doesn't he have like a local... He's got local suppliers because he's got local suppliers because that's what Juan Bolsa said.
I didn't know. I got it for Jimmy McGill.
Yeah, well, Jimmy loves it. And don't worry, I'm using it.
I mean...
If anybody says anything, I'll just say JMM is my motto.
Your motto?
What does it stand for?
Justice matters most.
That's nice.
Good job, Saul.
You know, it's like commit 4 felonies, you get the 5th one free. And there'll be friends and family, too, so you can share them around.
I mean, non-violent.
Really? I'm just worried about how this reflects on you.
Nah.
You know what? When you're right, you're right. What am I doing cutting prices? Discount is a desperation move.
Not what she meant. How does this reflect on the impassioned speech you gave?
Kim, I can't go back to being Jimmy McGill.
I mean, he can't be Chuck's
Jimmy
little
McGill,
brother.
The lawyer is always going to be Chuck McGill's loser brother.
There you go.
I'm done with that.
Sorry. I just can't see it.
Not yet.
It's okay.
You will, unfortunately.
You will.
Oh.
Through an oversight, Ziegler became aware of our other activities. The temptation was too great for him to resist.
All right.
And he stole 2 keys of product. I believe you know the rest of the story.
Get in early.
You know Ziegler's escape, you know that my man tracked him down.
A chicken freezer?
Chiller. Our product is never frozen.
No.
These are Ziegler's men, working from his plans. As far as they're concerned, their leader has gone home.
Is that? Yeah, it is. There's Mike. They've put on this whole elaborate thing to cover the tracks.
There must be no more trouble. You two must coexist. This is non-negotiable.
Don't want to repeat of Hector.
Mira, lo que pasa es que Héctor tiene esta loca idea de que el pollero quedó un poco resentido después de que mi tío le metió un balazo en la cabeza a su noviecito.
No entiendes a Gustavo. Con él, todo es negocio.
¿Todo es negocio? ¿Tú confías en Frink?
Nunca será uno de los nuestros, pero gana dinero. Con tal de que traiga lana, Eladio está contento. Eso es todo lo que importa.
Ay, no hay nada más de qué hablar entonces.
Man. I mean, Lalo, he knows.
Dale mis saludos a tu tío.
Oh, don't tell me this is Jimmy's event. Oh. Huel is here.
See right there? Circled in red? It's pre-programmed,
Oh my God.
ready to go. Number 1 on the speed dial goes directly to me. You press that, and poof, I'm there. His name's Huel Babinow. Go ask Huel about me. He was facing 3 years. He was facing 6 years. 8
Oh my
years
God.
down in Guadalupe. He was facing 25 years. Didn't do a single day. That's why he calls
my
me
gosh.
the Magic Man. I asked
Magic
him not to call
Man.
me, but he insists. I ask him about the magic. Press number 1, and poof, Saul Goodman is there.
Saul Goodman. Man. Now you completely understand why Jesse would have gone to him.
Very good. Oh, yeah. Very good.
Gotta be crazy if he saw the guy.
Well done, Magic Man.
Oh. It'd be crazy if one of the people here was the guy that recognizes him in Omaha.
It had to be done. He was a good man, but in truth, he was soft.
Alright. Don't make this any worse. Just go. Oh! He was soft. Get out of here. Off to Dallas with you.
Yeah?
Just go.
It was worth 50 of you.
On that, they might agree. I mean...
Sebastian, Adrian.
Man already feels bad.
As long as Lalo Salamanca is on this side of the border, we cannot continue as we were.
So this is it?
No, this is not it.
No.
Once Salamanca is dealt with, and he will be dealt with, construction will resume.
So you're gonna pay me to do nothing?
Call it a retainer.
Even after Ziegler?
Yes. The funeral was yesterday. And, of course, she has been compensated.
Compensated?
Oh, shit.
I would choose my next words very carefully if I were you.
Oh, shit. Gus ain't afraid of fucking anybody.
You keep your goddamn retainer.
Oh, shit. Man, they're on a rough patch, but it's got to get better by the time of Breaking Bad. And we're kind of on the clock here. It's season 5. Oh, is that a bag of pretzels? Aww. Hey. Wow, he did that in one go. Good job. Yeah, I think those are pretzels. Man, pretzels are so friggin' good.
Mr. Oakley, would you care to comment on the Carl Gravenhorst case?
What the?
As you know, the DA's office has been
Wait,
accused of
is this-
misconduct in the Gravenhorst case. Would you comment on the latest development?
Oh my god, the film crew.
What?
Well, excuse me, please let me through.
Oh my
that's
god.
client
Look
you're
at that yellow
talking about.
shirt.
And you are?
I'm Saul Goodman, and Carl Gravenhorst is 100% innocent. The Albuquerque DA's office is perpetrating an outrageous miscarriage of justice.
Look at his face. He's very
I'm Saul
confused.
Goodman. And I'm Saul Goodman, and I make it my business to defend the citizens of Albuquerque against injustices of every kind.
This is a little much
you
there,
must be
Saul.
really expensive, though.
You put me up there, I get the people with the big eyes, they see Lois here and the kid, they gonna believe me.
I believe you. Bobby, there are a million reasons not to go to trial.
Alright, come listen to Kim.
Going away for more time, not less. And I'm talking about years of your life.
But I might not, right?
You don't want to take that risk.
Maybe I do.
Lois.
You really don't. Come
Whatever
on.
Bobby says.
Dang it, Bobby.
Well, he should be on his knees thanking you.
I'm trying to talk him out of going to trial.
No, seriously.
Seriously.
Oh my god.
You know what?
Use a little bit of magic.
No.
Magic.
We can fix this.
He's using the magic.
New evidence has come to light, and I'm pulling his
Well, that's more Slip and Jimmy than it is Saul Goodman, but
pissed. I want to put it.
he's playing on a Game Boy.
But Kim, we can do it. It'll work.
I'm not scamming my
But
clients.
it worked for Mesa Verde.
Jimmy, back off.
Yeah.
Just chill. Okay. She doesn't want any of this anymore.
Yeah, I'll see you at home.
Not when there's more scam than man. Put your Game Boy away.
He's from the district attorney's office. They're taking the deal off the table.
Are you sure we still can't get the 5 months?
The DA took that off the table.
You mean even if you ask real nice?
Are you sure that's what you want?
Yeah, I thought about it.
Just
You
now?
said, and
Man. Oh. You know, it's one of those things because it's Kim. It's Kim going back on pretty much everything she's done in season 4. You know, going back on the scams for good. You know, I mean, it's essentially I don't know, like, how to put this into words. Like, I understand it fully, but I don't know how to, like, put it into words to describe it. Like, Kim is now, like, I don't know, she's, like, sobered up from it, you know? Whereas previously, you know, enjoying the drink of the scam, but seeing what the scam has done to Jimmy. I mean, there's more scam now than man, you know? Seeing him just fully committing to being Saul Goodman, you know? I think that's really hurt her. To where now she can't do any scam, you know? She can't do any of that. She's seeing her friend die before her very eyes. And even though there is still some of it, there's still some of him left in, you know? There's still some of him that is Jimmy, you know? But it's... I don't know. It's kind of broken her now. Doesn't help that Bobby's a frigging idiot. Take the deal. Which, I guess to be fair, she doesn't scam clients, you know? She doesn't scam clients. Scamming Mesa Verde is different, you know? Scamming Mesa Verde is different. Scamming an actual client, that's, even if it is for good, I don't know. And again, you know, you want to talk about the mirroring of stories. You got the story of Jimmy and his now, even though he doesn't realize it yet, his strained relationship with Kim. And now, on the flip side of that, is Mike and his strained relationship, you know, professional, but still a strained relationship with Gus, you know? Because right now, after everything, like, he has to now live with this guilt. Because, yeah, he does have that sort of guilt. Fun, interesting thing. So in my rewatch of Breaking Bad that I'm doing, we just finished up season 3. And in that moment where, you know, when they bring Walt back to the laundromat, this is just before he calls Jesse. And part of it, I see him as actually, like, being worried, you know? Before he gets the idea to call Jesse and tell Jesse to kill Gale, you know? I think part of that is legit where he is begging, you know? He's begging to live, you know? And part of it, he says, you know, please let me talk to Mr. Fring, you know, I can explain this, please, you know. And all I'm hearing in my head is, Werner, there is not a single thing you can say that will make anybody trust you again. I hear it. I heard it as I was watching. I was like, oh my God, this mirrors Werner's death, you know? Although, Walt walked out of that and Werner didn't, you know? So, that is just so interesting to see. And yeah, but the difference also is, the other difference, I'm sure, is that Mike is looking at Walter and he's not thinking that, you know? Because it's different. Because with Walter, I mean, down to what Gus always said, I don't consider him to be a professional, you know? Like, everything with Walt, they never, like, they went along with him, but they never really, like, they always kind of looked at him like, all right, here's this, you know, this guy with his ego and his formula, and it's like, well, it's a good formula, but you have to suffer the man for it, you know? So yeah, that was the thing, and that's why, you know, when Walt and Jesse just became too much to deal with, Gus tried to supplement them with Gale. And it could have worked, too, had Jesse not killed Gale, you know? It could have worked. But back to Better Call Saul, the guilt that Mike has to feel because Werner was a good man, you know? It's like the second guy said, like, hey, you know, he was 50 times the man you are. And you just gotta think about everything up to this point in Better Call Saul that we've heard with Mike, you know? Everything of, you know, and the little bit of backstory we heard in Breaking Bad, you know, where he almost killed that one guy, you know, this sideways asshole. And everything of, you know, his son wasn't a dirty cop, he was, you know? And when his son was killed, he killed Hoffman and Fensky, you know? And yeah, everything he does, he killing someone like Werner. I mean, it's the same as probably, I mean, maybe to a lesser degree, but you understand what I'm saying when I say it's almost similar to if he had killed his son, you know? His son, who, yes, did do this. He did, you know, take money, but he did that because he was under duress, you know? He did that, and he still got killed. But it's almost as if Mike had pulled the trigger, you know? And, yeah, that guilt is eating away at him. So Kai, that is terrible when he says, look, you know, you had to do what you had to do. He was a good man, but he was soft, and Mike just decks him like, fuck you, you know? Because Mike is also thinking, there was another way. There was another way. But, nope. He had to do it. He had to put him down. And that is going to eat away at him. And it's also going to strain the relationship of the man who told him to do it, you know? Kind of, you know? Gus was just going to do it himself, you know? He was going to have, you know, Victor or Tyrus do it. But Mike took it upon himself. Like, look, if he's going to die, then I'm going to do it. But he also feels... It's not just that it eats away at him that he killed him, but it eats away at him that, you know, Gus made that decision to kill him, you know? And it is interesting. It is interesting because we look at Breaking Bad, and you would never guess that there was any sort of trouble between Mike and Gus, you know? Like, the two of them work so well together in Breaking Bad, so clearly things get better. Things get better. But we'll have to see how much of that happens in the next 2 seasons. Which, at this point now... So, the day I'm recording this is, if I could see a clock or anything, today is the 17th. Today is the 17th of August, 2022. It's been 2 days since the Better Call Saul series finale aired, and I'm staying away from all spoilers. I've got Better Call Saul everything muted on my timeline on Twitter. I am really just not... I'm making sure that there's like no clips recommended to me or anything. But yeah, the Better Call Saul finale has aired, and now I'm on a countdown because I'm, you know, here's me just starting on season 5. I've got 22 episodes left now after this episode. So I've got 22 episodes left in Better Call Saul, which means 22 weeks, obviously. But yeah, we'll have to see how much happens. I don't know. I mean, we started off in 2001, 2002 at the beginning of Better Call Saul. It's now 2004. Breaking Bad takes place in 2008, and God knows when everything with Gene takes place, you know? So I don't know if we're going to catch up to, you know, Breaking Bad, if we're going to go past Breaking Bad, if we're going to maybe even catch up all the way. Who knows? This may end with Gene. I guess it kind of has to, doesn't it? Because... I don't know. I feel like you can't just leave that. You know, maybe the final scene will be of Gene, you know, but we'll have to see. But that's the next thing. Gene. Gene got recognized by the cab driver. This dude who, like, he kind of acts like, oh, this is just like some punk or something, but the dude looks like he's 45 years old, so I don't know. But yeah, but this guy, someone recognized him, which there is the question of, you know, because I did rewatch the clip of Saul at the vacuum shop, you know, and everything of, you know, when Ed says like, oh, well, you've got your face and name up all over, you know, buses and billboards all over town, so I need to, you know, work on that. I have to get rid of all of that before I can move you. So you kind of stop and think, well, okay, why did you put him in Nebraska, you know? Because Walt was put all the way in, like, New Hampshire, I think, and Jesse ends up in Alaska, which he requests Alaska, but still. And when you think of the degrees of heat, there wasn't, like, when you really stop and think about El Camino, I don't think there's as much heat on Jesse as, you know, as much as Walt and Saul, you know? Like, Walt, definitely, but Saul as well, just because he's his lawyer. But everything with Jesse, because a lot of it with Walt is, you know, everything with the neo-Nazis, with Hank and Gomi, you know? So there's all of that, but... And then Saul being the connected lawyer, but Jesse isn't too much a part of that. Like, yes, he is a part of that. He was Walt's partner. But how much of that... I don't know. Like, it's one of those, like, I don't think Jesse was actually as hot as Walt was. Don't take that out of context. But I don't think it was as hot for Jesse as it was for Walt, technically. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's splitting hairs, I don't know. But Jesse, and again, Jesse requests Alaska, you know? Either that or it's just a giant coincidence, you know? Jesse requests Alaska, but Alaska is really far away, you know? Alaska is really friggin' far away. And that just kind of makes sense, you know? Walt has moved out to New Hampshire, but it's not just that he's on the other side of the country. It's that Walt was given, you know, a private abode, basically. Yes, it was just pretty much just a shack, but he was given this, you know, just a house in the middle of nowhere, and for like 6 months he never went out because he just got, you know, supplies from Ed. But that's because they had a very special, you know, a special thing going on, you know, because Ed would go out there with supplies. Normally, he doesn't do that. He doesn't have an ongoing relationship with his clients, you know? But Saul, like, just thinking about it, like, you've got New Mexico, then you've got Colorado, and then, like, just, like, to the northeast of Colorado, if I remember my geography correctly, is Nebraska. And I guess maybe you would think that would be far enough away. But clearly not, as Saul has been recognized. He's been recognized by the world's biggest idiot. Like, I don't know if he was trying to start something or what, but yeah, like, when you go up to someone and you're like, oh yeah, you're that guy who, like, on the news and everything, like, oh my god, this is the lawyer of Heisenberg, like, this dude is in so much trouble, you're him, right? And the guy says, that's not me, my name is Gene Takovic. And he's like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. It's like, are you stupid? Is half of your brain missing? What is wrong with you? Like, I don't know, maybe this guy is a druggie or something? I don't know. Maybe he is a stupid... Because at first I was thinking, oh, well, if he's a client, if he's a former client of Saul Goodman, then sure. But no, he's just some guy who would see Saul Goodman's commercials on TV. And he recognizes him, and it's like, okay, but take a hint. If the man has a different name, There's a reason he has a different name. Don't just blow it off. Like, are you stupid? Clearly. I don't know how you've managed to make it to the age of 75 or however the fuck old you are, but what are you doing? The man has a different name for a reason. Going to Spain. Saul can learn Spanish. Nobody's gonna recognize him in Spain. Which, honestly, like, you would honestly think that, you know? Like, I'm sure Ed keeps it in, like, in country, you know? He keeps it in the US, probably because that's a lot easier. But, you know, but that's the thing, like, if you gotta put someone where he will never be recognized, especially a guy who, you know, Walt, like, yes, there is a nationwide manhunt for Walter White, but for Saul Goodman, this is a guy who could be recognized by anyone from Albuquerque, you know? Anybody from the Albuquerque area, anyone at all. Like, I don't know, put him farther than Omaha, Nebraska. But then, how many people from Albuquerque are going to be in Omaha, Nebraska? You know? How did you recognize him anyway? I know it's the whole trope of, oh, you know, Clark Kent, Superman puts on glasses as Clark Kent and nobody can recognize him. But honestly, if you see this dude with glasses and a mustache and his demeanor is different, how are you going to recognize him as Saul Goodman, you know? The guy who's always smiling and pointing on TV. This dude is like, you know, he's all serious, he's got glasses, he's got a mustache. No. Like, if I ever... and I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't put this on record, but whatever, I don't know, I'm not planning on going on the run, but if I ever do go on the run, this beard and this hair is all gone. I will be a freaking egg, you know? I will be a freaking egg, I will grow it back a year later, you know? I'll grow it all back a year later, because if I have to be unrecognizable, at least for a while, boom, all gone. All gone, because I guarantee you I'm just going to look like some other fat egg instead of this, all this beard and all this luscious, although thinning hair. Anyway, he also called Ed. Man, good to see Robert Forster again. I know that he passed away, was it on the day that El Camino came out, unfortunately? So I assume then, because this also had dedicated to our friend Robert Forster, I assume that this, I guess this came out after El Camino did, so this is after 2019. So yeah, I assume this is his last role now. And that's sad. That is sad, but I'm glad he got a cameo, which makes him, one of a couple characters to be in all three, to be in Breaking Bad, El Camino, and Better Call Saul. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that was really, really cool, seeing him. And yeah, it makes sense that, like, look, if you're gonna do this again, like, that's not a thing that happens, you know? And yeah, it would be double the price. Luckily, Gene's got the money. But I like, though I'm very curious how this will work out, I like that Gene's like, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to fix this myself, you know? He got made, but he got made by one guy who, from that conversation, I don't think he's going to be telling anybody. So all he has to do is he has to take care of both of them. He has to take care of the guy and his friend. So presumably that means Gene's going to kill him, you know? Which is going to be interesting. And here's the thing is, just like every time this has happened, this is our 5th scene with Gene in 5 seasons. And now I guess I got to wait for season 6. I don't know, unless they bring it back this season, which is possible. I feel like they have to do a bit more than just one, you know, the opening of season 6. You know, I feel like there has to be more with Gene. I don't know, who knows, maybe the final episode is just Gene. Wouldn't that be crazy? Because there's also the question of, how does Better Call Saul end? You guys all know the answer by now, but I don't. I'll find out as I go. But yeah. Either way, interesting stuff. Other stuff this episode, Kim dealing with the loss of Jimmy McGill and the rebirth of Saul Goodman. And everything of, it's an interesting thing because it's, it's almost taking from Kim of like, well, I want to work with people, I want to work with clients, but where Kim wants to help people who, could be screwed over by the justice system or just, in general, Jimmy wants to help criminals, He wants to be a criminal lawyer, Their clientele, even though Jimmy might be saying that it's similar, it's not, And now Kim has to deal with that. And and we also had the event, Saul Goodman giving away the last of the cell phones and reaching out. And I like the rest of them, they were all just going to leave, but he did give them the discount just so that he could get the card out there, And I also like when they do the whole thing. I love that he keeps that film crew. That is so amazing that film crew is still here after all this time. But I like when they do the ambush of the other lawyer. and then just he clearly like doesn't care. He's just like, what the hell is happening, It's like I really like his I guess demeanor in that. That was really funny. But then it's like, oh, I'm Saul Goodman, I'm gonna, this guy's innocent, I'm gonna defend him, and just they look over to him and it's like, you're who now? And it's like, oh yeah, he has to go to all of his lawyer buddies and be like, hey, it's Saul Goodman now, And it's interesting that when they talk about like, oh, I'm still Jimmy, Kim still refers to him as Jimmy. But it's like, yeah, but at a point, it's just going to be Saul, It's just going to be Saul. I mean, even Mike, that's the interesting thing is, Mike will refer to him as Saul, not as Jimmy, Even though they've known each other for a couple years now. And that's really interesting, just like, it's one of those things like you wouldn't think Mike would go with. It's like, oh, my name is Saul Goodman now. I'm like, yeah, you're still McGill, so whatever. I don't give a shit, But no, he'll eventually call him Saul, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, and we also had Lalo. We had the cover story for Warner, and that was interesting. It's this chicken chiller, not a freezer, but a chiller. Which is interesting. And yeah, even though they passed off this, airtight thing and it fooled Don Juan, it fooled him, but it does not fool Lalo. And yeah, he says, so Hector also has had that theory of like, oh, he's doing this because he has a grudge because Hector shot, Max. So, or as Lalo says, his boyfriend. And that's the thing is that while Juan Bolsa doesn't believe that, and none of them are ever going to believe that, so Lalo clearly must fail in what he is doing, in trying to reveal Gus, because, yeah, it all works. Because Gus does destroy the cartel. He destroys Juan in Season 3. He kills Don Eladio and the rest in Season 4. And he would have killed Hector had it not been for Walter White. So yeah, Lalo definitely, he has his suspicions. He's onto something, and apparently he's the only one. So yeah, really, really great stuff, really interesting, and I'm excited to see where we are going this season. So yeah, that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around to any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Better Call Saul reactions, as well as another playlist for all of my Breaking Bad reactions if you want to go check those out. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.